Actually, my other day job is to mentor women. I'm in a Women Mentors program. The last lady that I mentored who completed the mentorship was 65. Now, sometimes we think that it's younger people that require mentoring. No, everybody at every stage in life requires some helping hand, a shoulder that can walk them to the next level. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a topic that was introduced by accident by the previous speaker, Dr. Muigai. And she didn't look at my notes, but it's interesting that she talked about grit. So today, I'm going to talk to you about grit. A lot of times when we talk about success, we talk about women empowerment, we look at economic, social, political empowerment, but it's a topic that we always omit. But again, everything starts with the self. It starts with you. Many times we blame the weather, we blame the traffic, we blame our neighbor, we blame our height, we blame our weight, but we don't remember that everything starts with the person. Now, so why am I going to talk about grit? Because all of us have been blessed with very many gifts. We have been blessed with very many talents, but we sleep on the talents. We don't move the next level. Now, why don't we do that? Now, what is grit? Grit means, and I'm going to give you a summary of it, the courage, the strength, or firmness of character. Having an indomitable spirit. Perseverance, tenacity, passion. Ladies, and this is not just for ladies, because even men have the same challenges. Let me say this, human beings have the same challenges. How many of us set goals and put in place the commitment to follow through those goals? If you conduct an audit of how many goals that you set and you achieved, you may find that you set 20 goals and achieved 2. Why? Is it because we have a flattering interest with commitments? Is it because we are restless? Is it because we're impulsive? Today, if you take a child to a toy shop, what do? They pick this toy, put it down, pick that toy, put it down, pick the next one, put it down. Do we behave like a child in a toy shop? There are 5 characters of grit. First is courage. And courage or bravery is not physical. There are many forms of courage. Courage is like a muscle. It has to be exercised. If you do it, you can grow the muscle. Everybody's potential is like a muscle. If today you go to the gym, you can grow your muscle. But if you don't grow the gym, the muscle remains where it is. So ask yourselves, do you have the courage? Secondly, diligence. Are we thorough? Are we careful? Are we vigilant? What is our personal brand? When people see you, Do they see you as a thorough person? Do they see you as a careful person? Do they see you as a vigilant person? And therein goes your personal brand. They will say, oh, that one, don't bother. They're cavalier, they're careless. That one is careful. You give them a task, they'll follow through. Perseverance. Are we patient? Are we patient? Resilience. Do we just give up? A lot of people require resilience and focus, the tenacity, the stay power. Do we have the passion? Because you can be given political empowerment, but if you lack these components, you go nowhere. You can be given academic empowerment. You can be given economic empowerment. But if you lack these components, you are zero. We have cases where, and everybody in life encounters obstacles. They encounter distractions. We make errors. We stumble along the way. But from all this, there are lessons. And the lessons we learn from all this make us stronger. When you encounter these obstacles or distractions, do you give up? Do you walk away? And if you walk away, can you achieve success? In a lot of instances, we are authors of our own circumstances. Sometimes we cry victim of social or economic or political or religious subordination. But have we examined ourselves? Have we examined our readiness to seize this moment? I was talking to James here, who was reading his book here, Seize the Moment. Are you ready to seize the moment? It's like having a crop in the garden, in the farm. But that crop must be ready for harvesting. Do we show up enough? Who will know that you're interested in a particular commitment if you sit in your house? Do we show up enough? These factors affect the development of our potential. Many a time people say, Salome has great potential. And they think they have said something very good. No. What has she done with that potential? What have you done with it? But if you develop certain factors related to that potential, to grit, you can realize your potential. So, what are these factors? Pursue your interests. That's number one. It may sometimes be hard for you to stick to a particular path, but find something interesting to do. You don't sit on a chair and say, so what is interesting for me to do? No. Try many things until you find what you like and are passionate about. But that is not enough. Once you identify that area that you are passionate about, get a role model get a coach, get a mentor to help you even get better. Secondly, practice, practice, practice. Because practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. You can't try once and say, oh yeah, I tried it, that it didn't work. No, practice, practice, practice. Because if you work hard, you develop your competence. If you practice and practice, you develop your competence. A lot of us don't work hard. We do hard work. Sounds the same?
Yeah, it does.
No. If you work hard, you're working smart. If you do hard work, you are not working smart. Thirdly, connect with a higher purpose. Do not be focused on individual self. Success is not connected with how high you climb, but a lot of times how many people you brought with you. Make your contribution to society. Grow others. Extend a helping hand. Connect with that higher purpose. This helps you to become grittier. Ask yourself, how can you contribute the welfare of others? Reflect on how you can benefit other people around you. Make a difference. Wherever you are, you're a leader. You must espouse the 3 I's of leadership, with the 4th one being cross-cutting. What are those 4 or 3 I's of leadership? Impact, inspire, influence. But cross-cutting is integrity. It sits in all these 3. So when you are in that position, ask yourself whether you impacted and how did you impact. Secondly, ask yourself whether you inspired. I've heard people saying, that fellow is not inspiring. Haven't you heard that yourself? Yeah? Thirdly, did you influence? What is the influence? Of course, we are looking at positive influence. There are people that a lot of times are given positions of leadership, but they never leave a mark. And if there's a mark, it is a negative mark. We say that a leader must not only carry the bag of leadership, they must also carry the baggage of leadership. Now, there are many times you apply for the position of CEO of a company. You are interested in that position. That position is the bag. When you get there, you ask, so what does a CEO do here? Meaning that you never kept an eye on the baggage of leadership. The baggage is what you do with that position. Number 4, cultivate within yourself the culture of hope. Believe that it is possible. When I started my career as a lawyer, this month, 34 years ago,
Wow.
I will not ask where you are. 34 years ago, I started my journey as a lawyer. And I remember one day I walked into a law firm and I was looking for a job. And these guys interviewed me. And at the end of it all, we sat across the table in a boardroom and they said to me, okay, young man, I was in my early 20s. We have decided to employ you. But two things. We hope that you have you are not coming here with the hope of becoming a partner. But secondly, we also hope that you don't belong to that group of people that have been critical of this firm for not taking up young partners. Now, at that point, my hope would have been crushed. But I said to them, I'm not aspiring actually, and I don't know where I got that courage from, but I had the courage. I'm not aspiring to be just to become a partner, but to become a managing partner. And at that point I said, sorry, I will not take up your job offer. And I left. I set up my little kiosk, then as a lawyer, which I set up about going to 33 years ago. And some gentlemen called me. They were running a big law firm, and they says to me, I would like to see you. So I walked to their premises. They were on 3 floors. So he says to me, I would like to employ you. So you are trying to employ somebody who is running a law firm. And the truth is that at that time I had only 2 files on my table. But they are mine. So I said to him, no, but what do I do with my clients? With confidence. So he smiles, obviously, in a very cheeky way, and he says, no, we shall see when you come. So I went back to my office, and in that afternoon, I got a letter offering me a job. And I found that a little contemptuous. So I wrote back to him, and I said, thank you very much for your offer. The only issue on the table we can discuss is a merger of our 2 law firms. Now, that is like an elephant merging with a rabbit. I never heard from him. I still have that file and the letter. But as fate would have it, that firm does not exist anymore. That gentleman came to my office about 7 years ago, some morning, and they sat across the table and said, you know, now I'm tired with what I'm doing. Would you have space here for a consultant? Now, I didn't remind him that several years ago I wanted a merger and they refused. But the point I'm making here, believe that it is possible. Conquer the limiting beliefs. There may be psychological shackles. There may be not handcuffs, but mind cuffs. As I said earlier, your potential is like your muscles. You can grow it. Fifthly, surround yourself with grittier people. Remember that the people around you have a huge influence on your thoughts, on your feelings and behavior. There are many negative people. I don't like negative people myself. I run away from them very quickly. Somebody comes to you and they say, oh, you know this, that. I say, my friend, no, I don't have space for that data. My data bank is full. So let's talk about something. So I asked them, how's the family? How's whatever? Your son was going to school. How is he doing? But the next minute they're returning back to that. I say, sorry, I have to leave now. And you got to be very clear. No apologies about it. The way you do things, the way they do things, become the way you do things. You must learn to retrench these people from your life. You don't have to explain. You don't have to apologize. You have to be extremely ruthless and brutal about it. Their values and norms rub off you, and they become your new standards. They become your new brand. You must be in a position where you're working with people that exert positive peer pressure. Sometimes we think that it's young people, it's our children who suffer from peer pressure. No. Even grown-ups suffer from peer pressure. I am a facilitator in a program called Man Enough, which I'm sure some of you know. And I'm normally very brutal with the men about this. And how peer pressure interferes or influences the manner in which they conduct their affairs. And I say to them, if you don't take initiative as a man, because there are these men who complain that my wife has taken over my tasks in the house. So I asked them, and I was telling James this morning, if you walk into your house and you find that there's a light which is broken, so your wife says, oh, you know, this light is broken. You look at it for a month. The next time you come, you find your wife in high heel shoes on a stool, fixing the light. The next time it is this, it is that, it is this, it is that. Meaning that you have not taken initiative. We don't take initiative a lot of times, a lot of us. Initiative moves you to the next level. Listen, gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, 80% of our success arises from showing up. Show up at the door. I am here. Keep showing up, even when things get difficult. We say this, some people talk. But they strike out when things become difficult. When they are stuck, they strike out, they walk away. Other people do. They are the ones who make consistent progress and get results. The doers, the executors. I was reading a book by a lady called Duckworth. And this great, very, very good book. And she says this: talent plus effort equals to skill. That you have the talent, but you make the effort, then you get the skill. And effort counts twice. Talent plus effort equals to skill. And the effort counts twice. But again, skill plus effort equals to achievement. Skill plus effort equals to achievement. Without effort, you sit back and say, I could have done this. But you never did. No matter how many long-term goals you have, you need grit. You must be indomitable. When you say, no matter what, I will do it. I mean, for those of you who follow politicians or politics, remember several years ago, there was a phrase here, I am unbogable. You remember that? And there was a song. Basically, what they were saying is, whatever you do, you can't shake me. And this is what I'm saying. that you must be unbogable in that manner. You can grow your grit. And you look at life as a marathon and not a sprint. Ladies and gentlemen, today, in conclusion, I'm challenging you to examine yourself whether you have sufficient grit, whether you are positioned, whether you are ready to explode your potential and harness the opportunities that abound. I assure you that if you fix this element, there's nothing that can stop you in life. Thank you very much.